Good day, my students. You are welcome once again to the series of lessons organized by University Press PLC to empower you for the forthcoming examination you are preparing for on mathematics. My name is Sunday Olusegun Akanbi. As we have been discussing, we continue on numbers. I told you earlier there are different types of numbers. We have rational numbers, we have irrational numbers, we have complex numbers. But for your level, we are going to concern ourselves today with numbers. That is operation with numbers, directed numbers, and various types normally used in mathematics on numbers when you are performing operations. Thank you. Numbers. Today we are going to concern ourselves with integers, positive and negatives, and operation. You know what I mean by basic operation? You are used to them when you are at an elementary level, that is junior basic education. The operations are addition, subtraction, division and multiplication, and also directed numbers. What I mean by directed number is this: do you know that 0 is greater than some numbers? 0 is greater than -2. When you put a sign before you write 2, that is the negative sign, that number is not up to 0. That means it is less than 1. Now let's go. Operations. The operations are the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication and division. Please mind you, this one at times they will say off. When they say half of 4 is the same thing as 1/2 of 4. Please take note. You are used to addition, the some number 2 plus 2, 2 plus 3, but in mathematics we normally use some terms. For example, they may ask you what is the product of. Is the same thing or is the same thing as asking you multiply base by this, e.g. what is the product of a dozen and a score? You have to know what a dozen is. You also have to know what a score is. A dozen is 12, a score is 20. If they ask you what is the product of a score and a dozen, if it is a theory paper, if you just say the product of a score and a dozen, you say is equal to this without stating what a score is. What is a dozen? When you say a dozen, what is a score? Say score, a score. Say 20, a dozen, 12. Product. Product means multiplication. That is 20 by 12. Product means you are multiplication. That is 1. What is a gross? You know a gross? What is a gross? What is a dozen? You have to know the relationship between a score, a dozen, a gross. Now that is 1. You know, the other time I was discussing decimal, you know, that is they are dealing with 10. When they are talking of cent, percent, meaning they are comparing something with 100. But let me leave that for a while. Now if you are asked what is the difference between two numbers? If the question says what is the difference between 13 and 20, please you have to be very careful. They may ask you what is the positive difference, but if the question say what is the difference, at times they are asking you to give two values. This is what I'm saying. What is the difference between 13 and is different from what is the positive difference? What is the difference? What is the difference? Between 20 and 13. The word difference, they ask you to subtract one from the other, and it is in two forms. The difference between 20 and 30 and 13 is 20 minus 13 or 13 minus 20. Now if the question say the positive difference, so it say the difference between 20 and 13 and say positive difference. Positive, you take this one, you say 20 minus 13. The positive difference is 7, because the difference between 13 and 20 is still minus 7. Yes, 13 minus 7 or a number line, because that one will lead us to another thing on the course of this lesson. That is the difference. But in some questions they want to test whether you know all the terminology normally used in mathematics. I told you the meaning of product, the difference, and their addition and sum. They say sum. Find the sum of. Now you know the other time I was talking, there are two differences. When you say the difference between 20 and 13, is it the positive difference or the negative difference? The reason is this: if you are at a point look at this line, let's say this is 20, this is 13, negative, this is 13. Now this is 20. From here to here is 7. From here to here is also 7. It depending on the way you are moving. If they ask you to move 20 steps forward, 30 steps backward, you will get at 7. If you move 20 steps, you are already at 20. Then they ask you to move backward 30 steps, you will be at 7. But the same thing, you can move forward and backward. So they may ask you, if you have 20 naira, take 13 naira from it, that is 7 naira, which is true. But if you have 20 naira, you take from it, that is, you take 13 naira from it, it remains 7. You are talking of a positive number, but your movement, because there is something we call the distance you cover and the direction you are moving, you can move forward or backward. So please take note, because there are some questions in your OBJ, they will say find the positive difference, find the difference. So you will not be surprised when you are given -7 or 7. minus 7 or 7. Now that one will take us to what we refer now to as directed numbers. Directed numbers. You know we have number directed. Directed numbers. This is minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, 2, 3, 4. On a number line, I am very sure you are aware that in your mathematics for book 1, JSS 1, I mean, chapter 2 is there, directed number. Because you are, the way you are going to operate basic ones with this one is different from this one. If you are to add minus 2 plus minus 2, is different from 2 plus 2. You are summing up two negatives. No doubt you are getting a negative number. Here you are summing up two positive number. You are going to get a positive number. But the problem now is this: you can still add a negative number minus 7 plus a positive number 9. The same thing, or you say 9 plus minus 7. This is where we are going. That's what you are taught when you are in primary school or at primary 2 or primary 3. They say BODMAS. This one is of division, addition before what? Subtraction. If you use it here, you will run into trouble. Because if you say you are adding a negative and a positive number at the same time without considering the sign. This one is a minus 7 plus 9. If you say you want to obey that rule ignorantly, that addition, the rule does not say you add positive and negative together. You have to rewrite. Minus 7 plus 9 is 9 plus minus 7. And that's why it's the same thing as 9 minus 7. This one will be 2. But if you obey that rule and you put a bracket, probably you design it or you manufacture it, 7 plus 9 will be 16. This one will give you minus 16, which is not true. Which is not true. Let me write it again. Look at this. Minus 2 minus 3. Minus 2 plus minus 3. Minus 2 over minus 2. Minus 2 all over plus 2. This is minus, this is minus, they are referred to as directed number. This is a negative sign. This is a negative sign. This is another negative sign. And from your BODMAS, you are to consider what is in the bracket first. If you want to remove the bracket, minus 2 minus 3, remove the bracket first. How are you going to do that? Minus 2 is still there. If you want to remove the bracket, it means this negative must affect what is inside. This is minus multiplied by minus. Minus multiplied by minus. It is plus 3. Now, negative multiplied by negative is positive. Please don't confuse all those rules. The rules are -2 multiplied by -2, you say is equal to 4, because minus and minus is positive. -2 multiplied by +2 equals -4. You say negative and positive is negative. +2 multiplied by -2 is still -4. Now there is something that is very, very, very important. Please, because -2 multiplied by +2 is equal to what? -4. But -2 plus 2. You say, because this is minus and plus is minus. No, this one is 0. This is where we are going. -2 multiplied by +2 is -4, but -2 plus 2 is 0. It's the same thing as I told you. If you are given a negative and you are adding it to a positive, prefer to write the positive first. This is the same thing as 2 plus -2, or -10 plus 12 is the same thing as 12 minus 10. Take note, don't be misled by thinking that negative and positive is negative. A negative number plus a positive number will be positive if the positive is greater than the negative. Take note, if a positive number is added to a negative number, let me write it down. If a number that is 10, an integer 10 is added to another integer 7, but integer 10 is positive while integer 7 is negative, written like this: 1 which is 10 plus the negative 7, but 10 is more than 7. Because 7 is a negative number, you are going to get a positive number, because the positive number you are adding is more than the negative ones. Now the second one, if the same number 10 is positive and is added to another integer 13 which is negative, that is 10 plus minus 13, you are going to get a negative number. 10 plus minus 13 is -3. It's like having 10 naira and you owe another person 13 naira. The money in your hand will be 3, which is -3. Now I want to show you the sign we normally use when we are operating with division and multiplication. We call it directed numbers. Well, we are taught this one when we are in primary school and even secondary school. You will see that this is a positive sign, this is another positive sign. The product of the two is positive. The meaning is this: the friend of your friend must be your friend, no doubt. But here, this is negative. You consider it as your enemy, and you multiply it by positive, which is your friend. The enemy of your friend must automatically be your enemy. That is why it carries a negative sign. The enemy of your friend, no doubt about it, is your what? Is your enemy. But here, the friend of your enemy is still your what? Your enemy. But in this case, the enemy of your enemy, that is why we say minus multiplied by minus. The enemy of your enemy must be your friend. That is why it's carrying a positive sign. I will give you an example on this, and I don't want you to misconstrue it with plus plus minus, minus plus plus. That is why we explained this one earlier. Let's look at it in dealing with products. The first one, that one is okay. Plus 2 times plus 2 multiplied by plus 5 plus 2. This bracket means multiply, not that you open the bracket. This is 2 times whatever is in the bracket here. This is plus times plus is plus 10. Look up, please. Because of the bracket, it means you are finding the product of the one outside and the one inside. Then another one, look at plus 2 multiplied by minus 5. If you look up, the product of positive and negative must be a negative number. So 2 times 5, 10, but it must carry a negative number. Plus times minus is minus. The same thing, if you look at the other one, if you are given minus 3 multiplied by minus 5, please don't open the bracket and say 3 times this. Please, this one must affect everything inside the bracket. The first thing you should do is to multiply the two signs together. This is minus, this is minus. The product of two minuses is positive. That is minus times minus. So this one is minus minus, it is positive in the first instance. 3 times 5, 15. Please, I don't want you to misconstrue this with what I want to write now. If they say 2 plus minus 3, forget those. You know, this is another operation entirely. This one is product. This one you are only adding or subtracting. So you have to be very careful. Don't say plus times this is equal to minus times so 2 times 3 is equal to 6. No, this is just the same thing as 2 plus minus 3. Again, don't say because this is plus, this is minus, this 2 times 3 is 6. No, this is the same thing as 2 plus whatever is in the bracket. Because if you simplify what is the bracket, it is plus multiplied by minus, which is minus 3. It is different from 2 multiplied by minus 3. This one is not the same thing as 2 times minus 3. Please, if you write something, they say plus 2 times minus 3. Don't confuse this. This one means not equal to. This can never be equal to this one. This one is 2 plus minus 3. Why this one is plus 2 multiplied by minus 3? We should not be construed the two together. Then another thing, minus 3 into minus 2 multiplied by all over minus 4. This is where we are going. They are finding the product here. This one is alone. This one means you deal with this one carries a negative sign, this one carries a negative sign. The negative and negative is plus. That is plus 6. There's nothing you can do here. Please do not say this one cancel this over minus 4. Now from here, this another thing. The one on top is positive, the one below is negative. The two of them must be negative. The whole answer must be negative minus. Then 2 here 2, you say 2 here 3. That is minus 3 over 2. Minus. Please take note. Because minus is here, if you leave your answer as 3 over minus 2. Those are, you see some textbook. It is not in manual because the book is written by mathematician. Written by mathematicians. If you leave your answer like this, you are asking the examiner to help you finish the problem. Because this is another problem entirely. If you don't write, you don't leave your denominator with the negative number, it is not good. You can say 3 minus 3 over 2, but not 3 over minus 2. Some textbooks leave it like that, but it's not good. It's all mathematical. Now let's continue. We are on directed numbers. No, they simplify. Minus 7 plus 8 divided by 4 of 12. You know this is negative plus division of do not apply BODMAS here. If you want to apply BODMAS, apply it wisely. BODMAS is saying bracket of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Half first. 8 divided by 4 of 12. This is minus 7 plus 8 divided by 4 of 12 means 4 times 12. And 4 times 12 is 48. If you are tempted, say addition first. If you had this and this, and you remember your direction, you say negative and positive is negative, and you say it's minus 15. You are doing another thing entirely. You have to do this. This one will be minus 7 plus 8. If you are dividing a number by another number, let's say a over 3 over 5. Divide 3 by 5 means 3 over 5. So 8 divided by 48 is the same thing as 8 multiplied by 1 over 48. Don't add this. They are not connected. The one is negative, the other one is positive. This one 6. So 7 minus 7 plus 1 over 6. This is where we are going. This is the same thing as 1 over 6 minus 7. You write the positive number first for you to be saved, or else you may be adding the negative number here is greater than the positive number, and your answer must be far less, must be a very small number, small negative number. Then this is fraction, this is a whole number. You find the LCM and the whole thing will carry a negative sign. One minus 42 over 6, that is minus 41 over 6. You either leave it like this or change it to proper fraction. Do not change it to decimals. Do not change it to decimal. You'll be wondering, you say, why are we dealing with all this and that? You will see the reason now. A question is given, this says simplify. Simplify. Minus 3 into A minus B all over minus 2. Another question says, if A is minus 3, B is minus 2, find A squared minus B. We look at the two. They will ask you to simplify this. Nobody is asking you to evaluate. Minus 3 into this, then everything divided by minus 2. Minus 3 into A minus B all over minus. You will be wondering, this question is here. NECO 2009 OBJ, check. It's just as simple as I thought the question is wrong, but I now see what they want you to do. They want you to open the bracket. This is negative. No sign here is positive. So that one will be minus 3A. This is minus. This is minus. It is plus now. So minus 3 times B will be plus 3B. Everything all over minus 2. Because the problem, when I saw the answers, it's very funny. You say, Dad, no, that you can't, because the student we say this one cancel this. It is not possible. It is not possible. They want you to separate them. So this is minus 3A over minus 2. Minus 3A all over minus 2. This does not affect this. Please, for God's sake, they are not related. This one has its own sign. Don't say negative and positive is negative. No. They are not related. So this is plus 3B over minus 2 plus 3B all over minus 2. Now you are free to say this one cancel this. Yes. So this one remains 3A over what? Over 2. 3A over 2. This is plus, sorry. This one is plus 3B all over minus. You know, it's a Becker exam. They think you pass through years 1, years 2. You cannot leave it like this. So this one is 3A over 2 plus and minus. This one will be minus 3B all over 2. And then you leave it like that for your level. What they want to find out from you is this. Please, if a positive number divided by a negative number must be a negative number. A negative number up, if you divide by a positive number down, you will still get a negative number. And a negative number, you divide by a negative number, you are going to get a positive number. Let's continue from there. A is minus 3, b is minus 2. We are to find a square minus b. Let me rewrite that question. A is minus 3, b is minus 2. In fact, the question is supposed to say simplify or evaluate. The question will not say solve. A squared minus b. They want to test two things. One, they want to know whether you know how to substitute correctly, then how to simplify, then evaluate. You know there are three things now. The value of a is given, b is given. Substitute. What is a minus 3? They want you to say minus 3 all squared. Minus b is minus 2. Correct substitution. They want to you know this is minus 3 all squared. Not, don't say it's 3 times 2. What is minus 3 all squared? Minus 3 multiplied by minus 3. Then minus 2. Minus, if you remember, that is 9. Minus again, minus times minus 2 is plus 2. So this one is 11. They want to find out whether you know that this minus 3 all squared and you won't get minus 6, because majority of the candidate will get minus 6. And they also want to find that this is minus 2, which is a positive number, and the two are added. Now look at this. I said a is minus 3, b is minus 2. If you are to find a all over b squared, a all over b squared, a is given, b is given. As usual, substitute. You know that they want to find out whether you know how to substitute correctly. That one will be minus 3. Everything all over. What is b? Minus 2. Minus 2 all squared. I think the minus 2 squared is minus 2 multiplied by minus 2. So this one will be 3 minus up all over 4. You know, I was saying earlier that negative divided by positive must be a negative number. This is a negative number. This is a positive number. So the answer must be negative. So this one is 3 over 4 minus. Now, because of our time, now, you know, evaluation and substitution, as we are saying, use the directed numbers. Let's look at the problem we normally encounter. You know, I said earlier, we have word problems leading to all these basic operations, word problems leading to this or leading to that. Now, look up. Let's say, suppose is added to the product suppose everything is added to the product of 11 and 6 the result is divided by minus 33. Find the value. Now 70, the product of, is a product. 11 and 6 is 11 times 6. You have to write them down. That is 66. Divide by minus 33. Divide by minus 33 means 66 minus 33. And that is this one here 1, this one here 2. You can't say 2 up over minus 1. You don't leave it like that. This is minus 2. It carries a negative sign. Please look at added. Now, the result is minus 2 for the product of 11c divided by minus 33. But look up. What happens? They say suppose 17 is what? 17 is added. You don't just read part of the question and leave the answer. 17 is added. Finally, you say 17 plus minus 2 or minus 2 plus 17. And you say the final value is what? 15. Thank you for your patience. We'll continue the series of lessons next time. We really thank the foremost publisher, University Press PLC, for making it possible for us to enjoy the lesson. God bless you.